Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. And Joe Shane has been getting busy. I was streaming yesterday and people were saying Joe Shane isn't doing anything. The Giants never do anything in free agency. I actually didn't want to spend this much money in free agency. The Giants are right behind the Patriots for the amount of money that they've handed out. And I'm just going to go through some of our newer players here. This video is going to be Jevon Holland. This is a guy who 2021, 2022, his first 2 years in the league, looked like an all-pro type player. Really effective player. Can play in the box, but is really a center field type of player. But again, can tackle, great anticipation, knows where the offense is going with the football, and is usually around the ball. Now he had an injury, and he's been kind of working his way back from there. And he has not been the same level of explosive, rangy safety that he was before that injury, which is why he came in at $15 million a year instead of probably 17 or 18 million a year. But this next year, he's going to be, 2 years off of that surgery? Hopefully he can come back to being that same type of player. So let's get straight into it. First play, Jevon Holland is right here on your screen. And he's just going to do a great job just kind of seeing where Aaron Rodgers back here is going with the football and putting eyes. I think this is Devontae Smith here in the slot. And he's just going to get down and just break this pass up. Real simple stuff. Doesn't get fooled by anything. Breaks the pass up and you got an interception. Big play. As you see Jevon Holland at the bottom of the screen dancing a jig. But again, this all just comes from recognition. Knowing where Aaron Rodgers is going to go with the ball here off of this play action. Essentially, this a lot of situations, this ends up being interceptions. But he's there so quickly that Aaron Rodgers sees him. And he's just able to just catch that on that slant, break that pass up. Great job using this inside hand to reach across to not get a penalty, not make contact, and make contact with the football. And there you go. Big play. So he still can make these plays. All right, so on this next play, you got Jevon Holland back here playing center field. Pretty sure this is him. What you're going to have is the Jaguars running back is going to get straight up the formation. Take a look at Jevon Holland, not giving up on the play. Right here at the goal line, punches it out. Etienne fumbles, and you get a turnover for your team. Take a look from this point of view. Going to hand this off to Trevor Etienne. He's got a wide open hole. That's actually a good run. A nice little cut back there. And he just doesn't give up. A lot of times you see guys jogging here. And I don't want to see this here anymore. Like a couple of times I saw guys jogging here where they just kind of give up and the guy just walks in. But he forces a fumble and gets the ball back for his team. All right. And like I said, he is a center fielder. But one of the strengths of being a center field safety and kind of reading everything and knowing what's coming is that he knows what's coming. So he diagnoses this very quickly, gets into the backfield, and as a safety is able to get into the backfield in a hurry, almost like a linebacker, except much faster. And he's just going to get into the backfield, and he doesn't make this tackle, but he slows the running back down. And, you want to see him make that tackle next time. You definitely want to see him make that tackle next time. But really great job getting in the backfield. Just got to figure out a way to wrap him up there. I know he's kind of turning the corner. You're turning the corner at the same time, but we got to get him wrapped up there. So take a look, top left corner of your screen. You got 8 watching everything, watching it develop. And again, got to make that tackle, but nice job getting in the backfield there. All right, so this next play is just a good old-fashioned Hail Mary. Nothing special here. He's just back there, and he just kind of catches this almost like a punt. No contested here. And he returns this all the way back. So let's take a look at the end zone angle. So the ball is going to end up in his hands here. And instead, like I said, a lot of guys start to jog. A lot of guys start to celebrate. But he's taking it out. He sees a guy. He's got space. He's down the sideline. And he's going to make this guy miss. Make this guy miss. And he's going to take it all the way. And this is the last move he hit on that quarterback here. Kind of like a Euro step back outside and into the end zone. All right, Giants fans. So this next play, he's messed up on everybody's favorite tight end. He's messed up on Evan Ingram here. Jevon Holland one-on-one with the tight end. This is what you want out of your safeties. A lot of times we have safeties where we brag and we say, Oh, look at this, look at that. He can do this. He can, he's a deep safety guy. He's a box guy. We need safeties that can cover these tight ends in the league one-on-one. And there's not many tight ends that are as difficult to cover, especially out wide as Evan Ingram is on the Jacksonville Jaguars, because he actually catches for them for some reason. But anyway, Holland matched up across from him, playing off here, playing inside, and just breaks right at the exact time on the football. I mean, you couldn't have drawn this up even like any better. Pays attention to the receiver, pays attention to the quarterback, knows the ball is out, and just knows when to get there. Gets that hand inside, and I'll show you this angle. So watch him get that hand there. Let's go back here. Watch him try to get this hand. I think this inside hand right in between the ball and Evan Ingram, and just breaks it up there. All right, so this next play, I want you all to pay attention. So Jevon Holland started about right here. Ends up stepping down closer to the line of scrimmage. So the quarterback is thinking like, hey, this is one deep safety here because this safety's coming down into the box. I need to worry about that. But Jevon Holland gives you the opportunity to have that safety creep down in the box and still have him return back to the middle of the field or half of the field, and he starts to drop back. And just watch. He's not even in a sprint here. And just watch how much space he covers. Doesn't open up until you got here. And then watch the acceleration, man. Like, when he flips those hips from right around here to accelerating, you see a noticeable speed boost. And this is something that you need out of your safeties. Like, any center fielder, they have that burst that just allows them to just catch up to the football, that allows them to get in the way. And he definitely has it before and after the injury. All right. Like I said, take a look at the top left side of your screen. You got number 8 here in the middle of the field. And just watch the space that he covers. Watch the space. Watch him drop back, and watch him run under it there. Almost gets the interception. All right. So you got Jevon Holland. I was going to say Paulson Adebo. That's coming soon. But you got Jevon Holland here, and he's eyeing the quarterback. He's manned up with this running back coming out of the backfield. And I mean, you can't play this any more flawlessly than he played it. Take a look. Kind of starts like he's, overcommitting down upfield to the running back and allows him to get outside and just closes that gap, and should have caught this and returned it for 6. Should have caught this and returned it for 6, but just drops it. But really nice break on the football. Baited Brock Purdy into what could have been 7 points going the other way. All right, so here we are in 2022. We got second year Jevon Holland. And this is what we're talking about. I think he still is this player. I still see that same athleticism. So I don't see the slowdown that a lot of Bills fans, or not Bills fans, but Dolphins fans talked about. But here's a good example of that ranginess for Jevon Holland here. So again, he's your bottom of the field safety, right underneath that Bills logo. Just drops back, stays around the play, ball gets tipped up, he's got it. And he's gone with it. And just notice how good of a return man this guy is when he gets these interceptions. Just ends up in his hand, and he's going to make a big play out of it. He's not just going down with the interception. All right, so to give you some advanced stats on Jevon Holland, at the end of this film breakdown, we got this past year, he came in at an overall PFF grade of 63. So that's 89th, which isn't great. But when you look at him on film, he's still got that same kind of range. I think he really just needs another year back from that injury so he can get back to being that same player. Because when you look at the majority of his career, his overall coverage grade is a 91.3. And that's 5th overall since 2021, since he's been in the league. He can play deep. He can play in the box. He can be interchangeable along with Tyler Nubin, who can play in the box, at least so far. And I had issues with him playing deep safety, but hopefully he can improve there and look like how he did in college. I think Jevon Holland is a great addition to the secondary, especially along with Paulson Adebo. You had 2 vets, 2 solid, above solid players, 2 good players in the secondary. It'll only help things. And we have not had a roaming deep safety back there since, guess what, Xavier McKinney. Should have paid McKinney, but we didn't. And we ended up getting a guy who's probably about 80% of what McKinney is right now. So hopefully he can ascend and to be that kind of player that McKinney is. And that's all I have to say about Jevon Holland. You all let me know what you think of him as a player, if you're excited for him to be in blue, and the rest of the free agency signings are coming soon.